What's up? Good morning. Happy 4th of July or happy 3rd if you're in the States, but it's almost the 4th. It's definitely the 4th here. And I thought, hey, Robert, good to see you. Tim, hello. And One Hungry Traveler. I hope you're still in the room. I know you left that comment a while ago. But I wanted to say hello today and I wanted to talk about how Thailand has changed me, and I'm going to get some pretty uh, deep comments in here, and let you guys really understand what it's like to be an expat in a foreign country, and just how much country with a language barrier like Thailand can teach you about yourself. It's absolutely astonishing to me, really. So that's my plan, and I really hope you guys stay tuned. And I want to make sure I get this out of the way before anything else is said. Robert's got a yellow a yellow channel member sticker. I guess that's 3 months, Robert. Good for you, bud. So I want to get this out of the way before I get into the topic, because I'm definitely going to talk about the topic and how important it is. But this is also important that I mention this. If we have any people that watch this from outside, and when I mean from outside, what's up, Stuck? Good to see you, bud. When I say from outside, just want to let you guys know straight up front, if you're watching this on a replay or whatever, sometimes we have monetary challenges on this channel, and they produce income, travel income. What's up, Gerald? Good to see you, brother. Sometimes they produce monetary income, and that monetary income goes towards traveling and equipment and nothing else. So if you are a person who super chats or contributes to the channel via PayPal or does any kind of contribution at all, becomes a channel member, which is a good idea for anybody that watches a lot of this channel, because I put a lot of posts up there, and I put a lot of things. I talk about some things sometimes that I normally don't talk about on here. In addition to that, I also am going to start making videos for my channel members, and we're going to start with the truth about Thai friendly in Bangkok and Pattaya. So I think that'll be I think that'll be a really good way to kick it off. We like thumbs up on this channel. We like to hit the thumbs up button because it makes me feel warm and fuzzy, and makes me feel like I'm doing my job. Now, let's talk about how Thailand has changed me. What's up, Andrew? Good to see you, man. Um, the first thing I will say about Thailand is that I should probably back up and tell you about the Philippines, because I had spent 9 months in the Philippines, and I had learned about not really having rights as a foreigner in another country. So I was kind of prepared for Thailand, but Thailand's immigration enforcement and the protocols in which they want you to live by are enforced much more heavily and are scrutinized much more than any other Southeast Asian country I've ever been to. Now, there's a good thing, there's a good side and a bad side to that. If you're a person that's trying to hop around and travel, and you want to come in and come out and that kind of thing, you're probably not going to be able to here in Thailand. But if you are a person that understands law and order, and you understand why the Thais do what they do with their immigration system, then you will likely be successful here in Thailand. Because once you get the basic rule of understanding that the policies, the law, and the Thai citizens in this country matter, you as a foreigner, not so much, not so much. In most cases, but Thailand does do a good job of trying to help a foreigner as much as possible. And you even run into language barriers there. Yes, happy 4th of July, stuck for sure. I wish I was, well, actually, this 4th of July, I don't wish I was in America because there's no telling what's going to happen. And that really saddens me. But that's a whole nother story. Prep for it. What's up, brother? Good. I really appreciate you dropping by. So, one of the first things, no, you don't, that's right. One of the first things I noticed about coming to Thailand that started to change me were the people. And the people in Thailand, you have to understand, I'm not talking about every single human being here, okay? I'm talking about the Thais, the Thai nationals, the born national citizens. They were some of the nicest people I had ever met in my entire life. And the vast majority of them still are. You are very unlikely to have a problem with the Thai person unless you have a problem with somebody else, and then they've gotten that Thai person to do whatever. Eric, what's up, buddy? Speaking of law, ever harassed about filming in public? Is there any laws regarding filming? Yes, sir. There is. The filming laws in Thailand are there like pretty much everything else. Hey, Roger, good to see you, bud. Like everything else, it's kind of in a gray area. As long as you're in public, there's not too much. There's not a lot of. You're probably not going to get in trouble. It's not like the USA where you can film anything. As long as you're filming from public, you can film inside buildings as long as you're standing on a public sidewalk, taxpayer sidewalk. Not quite like that. If somebody asks you not to record or if they start putting their hand up or something like that, and you're close enough to them, just apologize, say I'm sorry, give them a little why, and move on. You probably won't have a problem. If someone makes a big issue about it, then when the cops come over and you can speak English, tell them that you are very sorry and erase the video that you recorded of them in person. I haven't had a problem at all around here. I have not had any problem. You legally can't film some Buddhist temples. They set some laws about, Eric. And there's certain like national sites that you just can't film. But they all have it clearly marked with cell phones and that kind of thing. And of course, you can't film inside of nightlife districts that have or nightlife venues that have drinking companions. They don't want to be having their picture taken or anything else. Cheryl, hi, checking in from Cali. Good to see you. Thank you. Hey, Dennis M. Good to see you. Robert Mack, what's up, buddy? Thank you, the other Robert, for throwing up the PayPal link. I appreciate that. I don't expect to see Jim in here today. He had a Facebook problem and he didn't get it, or he just got it fixed. I'm not 100% sure what his deal is. So anyway, Stuck says in Florida you can't record speech without their permission. That's weird. That's very weird. But I did learn in Thailand, by living in Thailand, I learned that you have to be much more cautious. If you're going to film, you probably want to do it from a distance, unless you're filming yourself. Like if I'm vlogging and I have the camera turned around and I'm talking to it, nobody's going to say anything to me. And if they did, I would just be like, what? So please hit that like button for me. I would really appreciate that. Matt Tech says, I've noticed that Americans say Happy 4th. Do they realize the significance of the date, Independence Day? most of the way of what's happening in America right now, the wave that's pushing through, they have no respect for America, period, much less Independence Day. So you know, and then we're not going to argue politics on or anything to do with what's going on in America right now. And I wasn't around in 1776, and neither were you, so we're not going to talk about it. Eric says, thanks, Jeremy. Oh, wait. Stuck says, MetTech, yes, almost all do. Eric says, thanks, Jeremy, a lot if First Amendment audits are taking place in the U.S. Yeah. So if you're that guy, and as long as you stay on public property, then you can record anything you want to, even if it's on private property. As long as your feet are on public property, you're good to go. It is kind of similar here in Thailand. They don't really discourage the practice of you filming because everybody that drives a car has a front camera and a back camera here in Bangkok anyway. And most of them in Pattaya also have those cameras. So being recorded is not anything new to most Thais. So as long as you're not like up in their face, you know, that kind of thing. What I normally do is if I want to record a food stall or some street food, something like that, then I'll just ask permission first. You know, is it okay if I record your food? Gerald says, I think I heard someone say or chat that PayPal is the best way to contribute to the channel. Is this true, and why or why not? Yes, it is absolutely true. And the reason it is true is because, well, Stuck in Florida has got the answer right there. PayPal only takes a 3% cut of the money that comes in, and Super Chat takes 30%. 30%. So big difference in the money that gets to go toward the travel fund. Like this weekend, this is a 4-day weekend here in Thailand. I don't have to go back to work until Wednesday, but I don't really have the travel fund to go to a different city. Unfortunately, I really wanted to, but I think I'm going to, you know, I put out a video every single day last week. With the exception of one, and that was all on Wahan, my Wahan trip that I took back in March that I was able to, I'm finally learning how to make these videos and schedule them right and that kind of thing. So I put out the content, you know, views are not heavy right now. They're hard to come by. And I'm making, in AdSense terms, I'm making about a quarter of what I used to make. So, yeah, traveling would be fun, but right now I just don't have the funds to do it. But we will get there, that's for sure. Good question, Gerald. Good question. Very good question. Stuck in Florida, he responded to him. Eric says, hey, Stuck, that's even in public. There's no expectation of privacy in public. That's 100% correct. Yep, no expectation of privacy in public is correct, Eric, 100%. Stuck says, yes, in public, many people have gotten in trouble for recording people's conversations, including news organizations. I'm not sure about the audio recording. And like if you're recording and somebody can't sees your recording. I don't know. Cody says, yo, and what's up, Cody? I appreciate you sending me the picture of the cornbread. I want cornbread so bad. I'm telling you. MedTech, I'm just going to do a brief answer to your question. It's not political, but people are making it that way, and that was my point in saying that. And you're right. 1776, it was. It hadn't been for a long time. And we're rolling into a new era here. So, unfortunately, that's what's going on. Anyway, let's see. Stuck in Florida says if I make a video and post it on YouTube, I can be prosecuted if I inadvertently record someone's conversation that happens to be close by. I've never heard of that law in the United States ever. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just saying I've never heard that before. Never. Dennis M says cornbread sounds good, but it's way too hot here in Texas. Turn on the oven. I know that's right. It's cloudy in Bangkok today, and I'm kind of happy it's cloudy, to be honest with you, because it's going to keep the temperatures down. Although I'm not going to get a lot done today. I have a video ready for you to go for you guys. And I don't know if I should do a live stream tomorrow or not, because you guys will probably be recovering from the hangover or whatever. Cody says, I made a pineapple butt chicken yesterday. I know, I saw the pictures. I hate you, by the way. But anyway, something else that changed me was working in Thailand. Not just living in Thailand, but working in Thailand. So I got a job as a teacher. You guys know I teach English here. And the way that Thai companies, or at least Thai schools, whether it be government or private, I've worked in both, the way that they run those institutions are very different from the way that we would run an institution or a business, corporation, school, anything like that in the Western world. A lot of decisions are made here at the last minute, on the fly, and you are expected to be responsible for getting whatever your supervisor says done in time, on time, with no warning. And that's something that's very, very different here, but Thais do it all the time. So that means we should be able to do it too. Cody said, nope, got that. Travel TV, what's up, bud? Heard you got some overtime yesterday. I saw your Facebook post. Roger says the heat and humidity are my lunch in Cozumel. Has me worried about Thailand. Do you get used to it over there? Yeah, man, you get used to it. You get used to it for sure. It's hot and it's definitely sticky from the humidity, but you get used to it. You get used to it. Prep for it says the few weeks total time I have been to Thailand have been a positive change for me. I'm glad you also have had some good stories. I really have had. I got some good stories. I'll tell you one second. Let me read a couple comments here. MedTech says, stuck. I'm not a lawyer, but intent plays a huge part in law. If you record, uploaded, intent to snoop, that would be fined or prison. I don't know. Let's try to, if we can, guys, stay on topic here. That would be great. Roger said, ate my lunch. LOL. I hear you. I haven't even eaten my breakfast. Eric says, how about drone laws there? Do you fly a drone in Thailand? I have flown drones in Thailand. I don't have a drone. I would love to have one. But I don't have a drone here in Thailand. In Thailand, you must register your drone. You must have insurance on your drone. And it is my understanding that that drone can be tracked as long as the power's on at any point in time. So if you go do a flyover of Bangkok, somebody somewhere is going to know that you did a flyover of Bangkok, and that's probably not a good thing. So, yeah, a little bit different. Travel TV says, loving it. I know you are. Putting some money in your pocket so you can give back. Let's see. Stuck says MetTech, correct? Travel TV says if you fly a drone in Thailand, you have to register it at the airport. Yeah, that's if you're bringing one in, but if you buy it here, you have to register it as well. Cody says a Florida or Destin area beach is closed right now. Asking for a friend. Sorry to get off topic, Jay. No worries. Not sure about this now. Okay. So anyway, back to what I was saying, and bringing up the drone piece allows me to talk more freely about um, getting used to different laws. Right? Okay. So you're an expat and you just come to live in Thailand. You've been here for a few months before. You got your feet wet. You kind of know a little bit about Thailand. One thing that really stands out to me are what would seem to be little laws that you're not going to hear about until you're guilty of them. For example, let's say overstay on the visa. A lot of people don't understand in Thailand, if you overstay your visa, I'm not talking about during the visa amnesty or any of that stuff. I'm talking about just in general, regular visa, and you overstay it. Okay, you're looking at 500 baht a day. If you overstay it, up to a total of 20,000 baht. Okay, so you're getting up into the $800 range, just $900 range of penalty. The bad part about that is if you overstay it for a really, really long time, then you're going to face not only deportation, but what was I about to say? Blacklisting. Blacklisting. You're going to face blacklisting, and that can be from 90 days to a year to 10 years to forever, depending on how long. And just for overstaying. That's just for overstaying. Even if you hadn't committed any other crime, you've been a good citizen, you paid your landlord on time, and your credit's good here, you've done all the right things. Doesn't matter. If you overstay your visa, you're gone. And this is where I think America can take a page out of Thailand's immigration policies because nobody cries foul here when an expat is sent home or an immigrant, whatever you want to call them, is sent home or is sent home for an overstay or is caught coming in the country. Like they have Burmese at Laotian people coming here all the time, Cambodian people coming here all the time to find work, and they arrest them and deport them and blacklist them. And nobody in Thailand complains about that because they know it keeps their country safe. So that's that's something that is left up to interpretation. I've heard a lot of people say there's no such thing as an illegal human. Well, I agree there's no such thing as an illegal human, but there are humans that do illegal things, which basically comes down to the same thing. Cody says, I'm assuming a thing for expats in Thailand living there and Thais in general having such good personalities help mentally after half a life of dealing with generally angry people here in the U.S. It's really, for all the stuff that I've been through, I have to say, Thailand itself, as far as the people go, when I go out and I know I'm going to need some help from a Thai, I'm not worried because I know they're going to help me. And they're just nice like that. I mean, I don't really know any other way to put it. They're just nice people. Gerald says, so they will pay your travel back to the USA if they deport you? No. You will either pay it or you will turn your passport in to the State Department at the embassy, and they will pay for your flight to get you back to America. And then once you pay the cost associated with that flight, you can get your passport back in America. Eric says, can you leave the country, stay overnight somewhere across the border, then one back in? In Costa Rica, we used to go outside the border at 11:45 p.m. and come back in at 12:01. So here's the deal with that. I want to make sure I answer that the best I can, Eric. You can make, for example, I made a border run for a visa. I made a border run for a visa to Malaysia back in, I think it was January, late December, early January, if I'm not mistaken. But I was changing visas. Okay. So you can get what's called a reentry permit on your visa if you have a visa that allows reentry permits. Then you can, like a non-B visa, then you can get a reentry permit and you can go out of the country for whatever time you designate on there. But you have to come back in the country on the day that your reentry permit is dated for. Now, doing visa runs, I went to Kuala Lumpur overnight. So I flew out one day and then flew back in the next. That's what happens when you're changing visas. So could you do the 11:45 p.m. then come back at 12:01? If you're looking for, it depends on what kind of visa you have and what kind of visa you're looking for. That's a great question. And I would say that ultimately, that answer is going to be up to the immigration officer that you deal with. And that's really how it works over here, is the immigration officer has pretty much the entire authority to say yes or no. Jonathan, I saw a person in handcuffs and leg shackles for overstay. I believe it. I believe it. They take it very seriously. Cody says, I think 6 months ago. Yep. Yeah. Robert Griffin says, how long have you been in Thailand and do you miss the States? I've been in Thailand 2 years and 2 months, almost 3 months. 2 years and almost 3 months. And right now, no, I don't miss the States at all. I get homesick about my family every once in a while. I miss my family and I miss some of my friends. But, you know, it is what it is. Travel TV says the Loa do, I think it means loud. Do border runs. I know. Yeah, so do I. I know what you're referring to there, Travel TV. I know what you mean. Matt Tech says, can you say where you were when you were harassed one time by locals? Yes, I was in Pattaya. I said that on the live stream. But I'm not going to say the name of the place because it's over and done with, and I don't want to bring any more attention into that situation. That was a very awkward situation. It was very, I didn't see it. Well, I didn't see it coming initially. And, you know, if you guys want to go watch the video on it, you can. I did a live stream. I still to this day don't know 100% exactly what happened, but I do know who set it all up. But those are things that happen in third world countries sometimes. Even though this is not, look, that's another thing I've learned living in Thailand. This is not really a third world country. No, it wasn't because of boredom. The living in this is a developing country. It is pretty much like in Bangkok. Bangkok is a huge city. I mean, it really is. There's a lot of people in a not so scattered out area. So you really are living with a lot of people in the same place at the same time, and you have to get used to it. That's something I learned living in Thailand. Traffic, dealing with traffic, riding through traffic. Those are things I learned living in Thailand. How to deal with small problems, small issues, like the smallest thing you would never think of. I learned how to do those things living in Thailand. Matt says, why did they bother you, boredom? No, dude, we're talking about what I've learned in Thailand. We're not talking about why they. I'm not going back to that situation. I explained it in the video. You're welcome to go watch it. Let's see. Eric says that was within an establishment, not outside, right? Yes, that's correct. Stuck in Florida says, has living in Thailand taught you patience? Actually, I used to be the most impatient person you've ever seen in your life. I was very, very, very impatient and very anxious. And Thailand has taught me that I don't really have a choice to be patient. So my choice, what I choose to do now is prepare myself for the worst outcome, which has never happened, by the way, and make sure I have an out in case things go belly up. And when there are opportunities on the line, or when you're waiting to sign a contract for a job or something like that, when those things happen, not really like you don't have a choice. So basically, I learned how to worry about the things that I can control and do something about them, and the things that I can't control, I don't worry about them anymore. And that's something huge for me, because I couldn't do that in America. I didn't do that in the Philippines, but I did learn how to do that here in Thailand. And I was through a very rigorous process, I learned how to do that here in Thailand. MedTech says, I love Bangkok. So do I. Cheryl says, Jeremy, when will borders reopen? I taught English last year in Chapan province and want to return late September or before. Thanks. The border situation is looking different every day. There's a different opinion on it. We've heard, last week I did a video on travel bubbles. So you may want to look at that video where I explain what travel bubbles are and how Thailand's using them. Basically, it's a deal with another country where your people can travel in and out. America and other Western countries are likely not going to be on those travel bubbles very soon because of the problems that they're having. And Thailand is trying to keep its country very safe. We've heard as early as September there may be some of these bubbles opening, but to travel in, if you can get a work permit without being here, then you can get in. Other than that, it's probably going to be a while. I would contact, if you want to teach, I would contact the school that you want to teach at and talk with their HR and find out what they know, because they'll probably know before you know, or before I know. Prep for it says Thailand dealt with the recent chaos better than many G20 countries. They respect each other, and the majority were. Yes, that's true. Pattaya looked like a ghost town because of the respect of the LD law. You're right, prep for it. I'm just going to scratch that one. Too many keywords in there, man. No problem. Don't worry about it. Don't take it personally. But you're right. Cody says, watch out for people who put pineapple on their pizza, too. I love pineapple on my pizza. I love Hawaiian pizza. It's great stuff, man. Eric says, do you have any videos regarding the best / cheapest way to fly to Thailand, like taking multiple segments? I do. I don't remember what the name of the playlist is. I think it's long haul flights. I think the name of the playlist is long haul flights, and I have other videos about me traveling over here and different routes. Like one time I flew through Taipei, and the other time I flew through Singapore. So there are some different videos on here that make it worthwhile. Gerald says the Dominican Republic is now open. Looking forward to see what the next few weeks look like. That would be interesting. Mr. K says USA and Europe are out for a while. I agree. Cody says I've seen cheaper flights that took up to 56 hours. I'm like, no, not today. I hear you. Love pineapple. Travel TV, pineapple on pizza is gross. I find it insulting. I love it, man. It's good. Good stuff, good stuff. Cody says, I think it was you, Jay, said Taiwan was a cool city. Taiwan's a country. Taipei was a city to hang out in, which seems to be a major transfer to Bangkok. I think so, but I'm not sure because I didn't get to hang in there. Hey, Ross. I didn't get to stay very long, and dealing with the city of Bangkok. Like when I first got here, this is where I lived. Yeah, no worries, Cody. But when I got to Thailand, my first apartment was in Bangkok, and I was impressed, but I was also very anxious because I'd never seen so many people in such a condensed area. And thankfully, I lived right next to an MRT station, and I could get on the MRT. I didn't have a motorbike or anything at this time. I got that when I was visiting, after I'd moved around, and I was visiting Pattaya about every week. But anyway, I moved here. I got on MRT, and it would take me pretty much anywhere I wanted to go. I just had to time it right because it was a lot of different stops that have to be made. And sometimes I had to change over to the BTS or to the Purple Line, that kind of thing. And I was just overwhelmed at how much different big city Thailand was compared to big city North Carolina. It was very, very different. Cody says, how crowded does Nothing Breed get as bad as downtown Bangkok? Nope, it does not. I was on the corner, or on the very near the border of the province of Nothing Breed when I lived here in the Bangkok area the first time, and that's where they would pick me up from, or the MRT would be. So now that the MRT is completely encircled, it's pretty cool, and it's a pretty much guarantee that you can get wherever you want to get whenever you want to get there. and I really enjoy that. Ross says, when Thailand reopens to Americans, you need to spend 3 months traveling around to experience for yourself. On persons, crowds is another person's mob. One person's crowds. Okay. That's a good point. So the other thing that I learned living in Thailand, how it's really changing me is I have met a few expats over here that are decent people. Like all the vast majority of the expats I met in the Philippines were not good people. Not good people. And I have met expats over here that are just they're the same as they are in the West. You know, even being over here for certain amounts of time. Be sure if you plan to live in Thailand that you have a good gut instinct on people. It's important. It really is. It's important that you use your gut instinct. And if something doesn't feel right, doesn't smell right, doesn't look right, it's probably best to stay away from it altogether. Cody says you've done a few vids through that area, so I figured you spent most of your free time in that area. I did. Ross says I've met a few people in America who were decent people. Back to how Thailand has changed me. One, it's made me extremely unusually humble, and for me, that's saying something because I was never a humble person in the beginning. But after you get slapped down a few times, whether it be from your employer, whether it be from your from whomever it may come from, it might be from a street vendor that sells you food. But once you get humbled here in Thailand, and if you're hard headed, it'll take you a few times. And once that happens, you realize that you know you're really not that important here in Thailand, and you shouldn't look at yourself that way because if you do, problems will arise. Something else I want to bring up too is something I've learned here is to not be so quick to judge people based on first interactions. Get to know them a little bit and then pass judgment. Cheryl said, oh, wait. Cody says, we all get much better at reading after a few have stuck it to us one way or another. That's true. Cheryl says, not at all interested in socializing with expats from the U.S. I made friends for life in Thailand, and to be frank, many entitled, spoiled Americans should live abroad and they become humble also. I could not agree with that statement any more, Cheryl. That is a very, very good statement, and I agree with you 100%. Because once you come over here, all that entitlement, and I say it all the time on live streams and videos, all that Western entitlement or privilege that you may have, it's gone when you come over here because it doesn't exist. Not for foreigners. QB, I think Asia is full of humble and kind people. I'll give it that. Yes, it is. It is full of humble and kind people, and there are certain parts of it that do not have humble and kind people in it. But luckily, so far in Thailand, I've really had good luck with people, and I hope that I've left a good impression on them because we have to remember as expats, and this is something that I learned in the Philippines, but I use it being here in Thailand, and that is for some people, I might be the only American expat they ever see. Like if I go way up north, in the Isan, certain regions there, they don't see expats, or they don't see very few, or they see very few expats. So if I'm the first and only American they've ever seen, I'm representing my entire country and the entire. They're going to judge every other American expat that comes through there by my behavior. So it's very important that I do the things I need to do. I learned that in the Philippines when I moved way up north. There were literally people there that uh, had never seen a white man before, ever. And it was good for me to go up and be kind and gentle and respectful. They enjoyed that. Let's see. I'm just good. QI Billy. That's what I'm going to call you. I hope that's right. Wait, Cody said the school start back this week. July the 1st was when they started officially. So QI Bill says, my experience in Vietnam led me to loving that little country so much. Found friends for life. Wouldn't have such an experience in the West, I think. I agree. You would be surprised at how many friends you make over here that you will more than likely never make that type of friendship with in your home country, wherever that may be. So, sorry guys, just checking something real quick. So that's something very important to keep in mind. Stuck in Florida said the kids will follow you around and laugh and stare at you. It's hilarious. Yes, they will. And the kids over here in Thailand are actually far more respectful than the kids that I dealt with in some other parts of Southeast Asia. So, and Stuck agrees with QI Bill that was his experience as well in Vietnam. I'm looking forward to going to Vietnam at some point in time. Trying to get a few other things up and going. I definitely would love, like I said, I would love to be able to take advantage of this 4-day weekend and take off somewhere and give you guys some new content. But I think what I'm going to do is travel around Bangkok. Maybe if the weather picks, I got 4 days. So if the weather picks up a little bit, and it's not as cloudy and dull and all that stuff, and maybe go find some places to record some material, take some pictures. I've been posting daily. For those of you that are curious, I've been posting daily on Instagram and Instagram stories, Facebook stories. So if you don't follow me on any of those things, you might want to. There's some pretty good stuff in there. Cody says, I've been watching a guy who can speak fluent Chinese in films going to order food or the market to practice and film it. I would actually like to do that as their reactions are priceless. Yes, that's true. That's very true. The Jungle Soda. Did I say that right? I haven't seen all of your videos, but why did you move from the Philippines to Thailand? Because I wasn't happy in the Philippines. QI Bill says, stuck in Florida, I can relate. One of my Vietnamese mates from Hanoi. Stuck says, Cody in Texas, I know who you are talking about. I don't know. I've never seen that, so I'm not 100% sure. But I would think all around, Thailand is kind of chiseled off the rough. And something else I've learned how to do here in Thailand, living in Thailand. This is a huge, huge change for me. And this is due to basically 2 expats that I met. I have learned how to manage money and set a budget while I've been living in Thailand. And I didn't even really do that in the Philippines. I should have. But coming over here and living over here, is a huge financial, I don't want to say burden because that's not the right word, but it's a huge financial responsibility. And it takes, you have to be the person that's willing to make the budget and to stick to the budget, which is why I'm sitting at home right now and not traveling on a 4-day weekend. I really wanted to go to Pattaya this weekend, and I really wanted to go to somewhere between Pattaya and Bangkok. I also thought about going to maybe up north a little bit, north of Bangkok, but the budget says no, so therefore we're live streaming, and I'm bringing content to you that way. In past times, I would have just said the heck with it, and I would have went wherever I wanted to go, and I would have justified it. Now my justification is you got to make sure you got money in the bank before you, because that'll come in time. That's something that I've learned, and something that has changed me in living in Thailand has simply been the fact that if you keep doing the right thing, if you budget yourself and keep doing the right thing for long enough, something good, something will happen to you eventually. I don't know what that something will be. Maybe I'll get a free ticket to somewhere in Thailand. Maybe we'll have a live chat and we have a super chat like we had. A PayPal like we had last Saturday, where we got over $200 in the travel fund. I don't know. I don't know what it'll be, and it doesn't matter. But I do know that if I stick to what I know how to do and keep doing it right, good things are going to happen. Put one foot in front of the other. Let's see. Yes, happy 4th of July to you as well, QI Bill. To you Americans. And well, you're not celebrating the 4th of July, then, but that's okay. Ross says budgeting is how you get what you want when it costs more than you have at the moment. I agree, Ross. I agree. That's why I got this shiny brand new camera that I really want to use. Cody says I think Thailand isn't third world at all. It's not. It's developing. In some cases, the infrastructure is as good as just about anywhere in the world. In certain places, like around Bangkok, you can find really good, solid, fast internet. Very expensive condos on the river. Premier shopping. They sell Aston Martins and Maseratis and Porsches and Bentleys and all that stuff. These Ferraris, they sell it all over here. Cody said maybe the country, but their cities look better taken care of than the country south, definitely. And Ross says Thailand is developing that nation status. So I would agree. I agree with Ross. 100%. You guys that have enjoyed the content thus far, please hit the thumbs up button for me. I would greatly appreciate it. Likes are good for the YouTube algorithm. QI Bill says Thailand has among the highest GDPs in Southeast Asia. It's really thriving. It did, and I don't know if it will again or not, but it definitely did. QI Bill, you're right. And then it happened. So I don't know. Stuck in Florida says when I fly out of Hong Kong and land in Orlando, I feel like I landed in a third world country compared to what I left. I get it. I get it. Speaking of Hong Kong, I probably wouldn't fly through there anymore. and that's a whole nother topic. We don't have to discuss it, but I just wanted to make mention of it. Do your research, hardcore research, before you think about flying through Hong Kong. And see, that's something else I've learned living in Thailand, is the sensitivity of issues, and that's what QI Bill says right there. You know, it's a touchy issue and it's sensitive at this time for sure. Ross says with Thailand reopening this week, the baht got almost 30, staying weaker to the U.S. dollars. Cody in Texas says the baht is worth twice as much as it was 20 years ago. I don't know. I have to always rely on my little trusty app here, and I just put $1, 31.12 is what I got. I mean, that's cool. It is what it is. I don't know what's going to happen with the fluctuation of the Thai baht. It's always fluctuating, always. So you never know exactly what you're going to get. You never know exactly. You never know exactly how far it's going to jump up or down. That's been my opinion since I've been here. But like Ross has told me in the past, if you average it all out over the last, I think it was 10 years, maybe, it really hasn't changed that much. Let's see. Cody says the bot is where I read that. Ross says, let's talk about Songkran being celebrated in 3 weeks. We will, but we'll do that on another live stream or on another video. That's going to be weird. But that is a big national holiday here, and we'll have time off. So, good thing. I don't care to participate in Songkran, not because of the nationalists and the respect part of it. Of course, I'm cool with all that, but the water part of it, I just don't. I don't enjoy being sprayed with dirty water. It's just not my thing. Mr. K says the Australian is rising higher lately against the baht. That's a good thing, man. And that's good to hear. I work with an Australian guy, and he's been talking about the baht moving up or moving. He's been talking about the Australian dollar moving up a little. Cody says I think it was about 50 to 1 back then. Now 30 to 1. Okay, there's Ross's answer. And Ross's answer again. QI Bill said, did you hear about the coconut harvesting scandal in Thailand? I did not. Yeah, the rescheduling of the holiday, Ross, is yeah, that's a little bit different story. Yeah, like doing Christmas in January, pretty much. Something else I learned how to do here, living in Thailand, is I learned how to completely and utterly take care of myself without having anybody to depend on. I mean, sure, I had friends that I could, ask for help if I needed it, like Ross. Was nice enough to use his truck when I moved from Rayong here to Bangkok. So, that kind of help. But I'm talking about like, Aaron Stuck says, what else has changed for you since moving to Thailand? One thing that's changed for me is I don't date a lot. In the Philippines, I dated a lot, and I had a couple of relationships. I have not really had an ongoing stable relationship. Like I had one girlfriend that was, kind of a 4 to 6 week thing. And then I got another girl that's been off and on for more than a year now. here in Thailand, but I've never really had, a real serious relationship because I got burnt so bad in the Philippines. And what's changed for me in that perspective is I've started to, like this weekend, for example, we have a long time, 4 days off. And I'm thinking that I'm going to go out possibly with a girl. I don't know. My year and a half long, prolonged, on again, off again relationship is, we still talk, so I don't know exactly what the situation is there. I don't know. I've never had a girl, and this is to answer some of your questions. So, I've never had a girl say I'm going to China for 2 months for work, and then I'll be back, and then she comes back, doesn't tell me that she's back, goes to Malaysia and works for 2 months, goes somewhere else and works for 2 months, then comes back to Thailand and says, "Hey, I'm back. Come see me." And that's never happened to me before. I've learned how to deal with the food here in Thailand. Stuck to your question, talking about changing for me living in Thailand. I've learned how to live with the different kinds of foods here in Thailand because it is a much, much different cuisine than the original American cuisine that I was so used to. It is even much, much different than the Philippine cuisine. And now, at the first year, I really didn't like the food because I didn't know how to order it. Now that I've had some time around, certain people, and they're expats that know how to, speak Thai and order food, I learned how to order food. And to me, that was a big deal. So I was very happy about that. And the ordering process was very straightforward. And the people that prepare this stuff, number one, it's cheap. If you get like street food or go to one of these hole in the wall mom and pop things, cheap, 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 and very, very delicious. So that was something that had changed for me because I never thought I would eat Thai food. I just didn't think I could do it. And then I learned how to order Thai food that wasn't super duper spicy. So thanks for asking that stuff. There's a lot more I could go into, and I probably will throughout the stream. Cody says, I think Songkran would be fun for about an hour, 3 days. Nope. Maybe. Stuck says, it's why I kept going to the Philippines. There was always someone waiting on me. Yeah, I understand. Cody says, pizza, ice cream, a movie like Finn. I don't know what that means. Travel TV says they are not big on cheese in Thailand. That's true. They're not. I love cheese. I'm with you on that. Getting real good cheese is very difficult here because, to the best of my knowledge, there's not cheese produced here in Thailand. Cody says, I love sushi, squid, shrimp, fish, and rice. Sounds like heaven to me. You would love the cuisine here, the food. You would love it. QI Bill says, spicy foods here in Malaysia leave me in tears. Yeah, same thing goes here, for sure. And I can't deal with it. I just can't do it. Stuck says they think Velveeta is cheese. They do. That's true. Have you tried fertilized duck egg? You mean over in the Philippines? I forgot what it's called. The answer to your question is no. I haven't done that. Montelli, what's up, man? Saying the word cuisine in reference to the Philippines is a Hey, it is what it is, man. Nilo says, happy 4th of July, Jeremy. Thank you. Same to you. Have you done videos on cost of buying scooters and motorcycles in Thailand? I have. There are a lot of videos where I talk about what I pay, and what things cost. Like I have an Nmax, which would probably cost somewhere around 90 to 110,000 baht, depending on where you got it from. But I rent it for 5,000 baht a month, and then you have like the Click 150. That's going to cost you about 69,000 baht. Those are kind of two of the more popular things. Cody says Wings hit up a 50 baht buffet in Lumpini Park. I'm like, what? $1.60? It's true. Travel TV says I love Philly cheese rolls. The sushi, they don't have them in Thailand. I don't eat sushi, so it doesn't bother me. Lee says sooner Thailand is open to tourists, the better. I agree. I'm ready to see some new faces for sure. No question about that, Leeds. No question at all. Robert says cheese is produced in Thailand in Nakhon Pattaya. Okay, I did not know that. Yes, balut. That's what he was talking about. Stuck in Florida. That's what Gerald was talking about. Balut. I have not tried it. I was going to, and when I cracked the shell and looked, and you could see a little eyeball forming and a head of a duck and that kind of thing, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. The guy I was with did it, but I couldn't do it. Cody says the egg they eat the embryo. I end those vids in like 5 seconds. Yeah. Cody says cheese matters. I like that. Cheese does matter. Cheese is cheese is a good thing. Let me give you guys some information right here. If Ross is still around, he may get this. Chonburi police destroy 700 illegal exhaust pipes with a steamroller taken from motorbike racers in the Pattaya area. There's literally a picture of all these exhaust pipes and a steamroller destroying them. In Pattaya, a woman, believe it or not a man, a woman survived a fall from the fourth floor of an apartment. That was, wow. And there's a 2-day alcohol sales ban for religious holidays. It starts on Sunday. So just to let you guys know. If you happen to be here in Thailand or are, well, you're not going to be coming, but if you're here in Thailand, that's just a little FYI. Cody says the egg they eat. Oh, no, I already read that. Stuck in Florida says blue tastes like a boiled egg. Oh, it might, but I'm not going to try it. Travel TV agrees. Ross is still here. Okay. Cody says cheese good for the heart. Ross says those bikes are loud with those exhaust pipes. I agree. I thought it was funny that the Thai government had decided to steamroll them. That was, I mean, it shows the picture of all the exhaust pipes lined up, and they just take a steamroller and right over it. Interesting. Mr. K says, I tell you what, I like those 7-Eleven toasted ham and cheese sandwiches. I do too. I'm actually a fan of those things, by the way. I love 7-Eleven food. Coach says Thais get angry when they can't yell at each other over the motorcycles. That's funny. Let me get something else to drink, guys. I'll be right back. I found a new kind of Yoshi tea, by the way. This has now become my new favorite. It's apple, and it's very, very good. I love it very, very much. And it really quenches the thirst. So I would recommend the apple. Now, over the honey lemon that I used to have. There's Dan. Dan says, started my Thai lessons this week. What a hard language. It's still fun to learn. I know, right? It's tough, for sure. Stuck says, speaking of Velveeta, those cheese toasties are made with something like that. Yeah, it seems to be some kind of melted down cheese in some way. I'm not exactly sure what kind of cheese it is, but I eat it. It tastes okay. I'm all right. It's pretty good. Cody says, I make those toasties at home, grilled cheese, just add ham. Yeah, pretty much. But we can actually have, in America, we can actually have real cheese. And until Stuck just told me what he said about the cheese being made up north, then I was thinking to myself, I didn't think that any cheese was manufactured here in Thailand in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So that was news to me. And again, changing my life on a daily basis as I do pretty much all the time. Sorry, guys. That is a uphill battle, and it is it's something that everyone should go through in their life. I would encourage the people when everything opens back up, from at least from my country, from America. I would encourage the people to travel outside of America, because when you go back, you would be far more appreciative for the things that you have in America. Not saying that you have more or less. I'm saying you would be more appreciative of actually being an American. Because when you're in a developing nation, etc., something like that, you learn a lot about where you fit in. And so, whether that be social class or something else, you learn a lot about yourself. What we got here? Ross says, Dana Tropics learn about 200 words with 5 different tones and accents, and you can speak second grade Thai. That's pretty cool. Robert says, goat milk cheese. I don't mind goat milk, to be honest with you. Roger, feta, yummy. Roger, just so you know, feta is my number one favorite kind of cheese in the world. I absolutely love me some feta. Cody says, what about milk? I'm a milk fiend. I bet it's expensive there. It's actually not. And you can get real grass-fed cow milk over here that's not that, I mean, it's not cheap, but it's not really super expensive either. So I don't know. It depends on your budget and what you would get. That's something else that I wanted to talk about. Yes, I'm getting ready to stretch out and talk to you guys. So that's something else I wanted to talk about, which is being able to afford healthy foods on a budget over here. It's actually easier to do than it is in a Western country. It just is. I don't know why. Okay, Cody had the last comment there. Said I probably drink a gallon every 3 to 4 days. Well, this kind of milk, it comes in. I don't think you can buy it by the gallon here. Not the super good for you stuff. I don't think you can buy that here by the gallon. Ross says many kinds of milk here. Thai milk comes in a can and it's not white. It has a light brown color. Cody says, this is the same way George poses for pigs. I'm not posing for pics. My back hurts, so I'm stretching out. I'm surprised they don't have coconut milk. Oh, they do. We have coconut milk here. Travel TV. Um, shouldn't be. I mean, I've drank coconut milk here. I don't know. Um, depends on where you sell it, for sure. Marco and Tesco, Ross says, is where they have it. So there's some information on where they have it for sure. Mr. K says, I only remember seeing 1 liter bottles of milk in Pattaya. You will likely only see 1 liter bottles if you're in like 7-Elevens and things of that nature, those types of stores, because um, I guess kind of you would have to go to a macro or to a Tesco, something like that, a larger grocery store, and get something that, you know, was a larger quantity. Like if you go to macro, you're going to get bigger containers of milk because it's akin to Costco in America. Um, Robert says coconut all over Thailand. Cool. Dan says happy 4th of July. Jeremy, same to you, man. Hope you can at least get your hands on some fireworks over there. Nah, I'm not really into the fireworks thing. I like taking photographs of them, and I absolutely love watching them. But I'm not going to be in America for another 4th of July, and maybe that'll be different next year. I don't know. It's time to start looking. It's time to start looking at new paths. New places to go. I've been in Thailand far longer than I thought I ever would be. Um, and if some of my new plans don't work out here, then next year about this time, maybe we'll be broadcasting from Malaysia or Vietnam or maybe even Taiwan. I don't know. Let's see. Travel TV says I've never seen it. Maybe I missed it. Must have just missed it, man, because they really do have coconut milk here. I promise. Mr. K says okay, like Big C. Yeah, Big C would be a place where they would have it for sure. Ross says many Thais do not drink milk the way we do. I've noticed that. Cody in Texas says I can drink a glass of milk and I'll keep me from snacking on junk food for a few hours. That's cool. Travel TV says I do know they have coconut milk. I'm talking about like creamy milk, coconut like almond milk. That's a good question, man. Cody says he'll be right back. He's getting some milk. Robert says they drink the coconut milk straight out of the coconut. Yep, done that too. Ross says I like certain brands of soy milk they make here. It's solid in a glass bottle. I've drank or drunk some of those, whichever way you say that. And they're pretty good. But the thing about soy milk is, like, I don't want to. Soy milk is supposed to be really good for you, but it's also it takes away a lot of the natural things that milk has in it, like the natural hormone boosting abilities, and you don't want to be like living off soy products. That's what I wouldn't do. There's nothing wrong with drinking soy milk, but I wouldn't be the guy that was like living off of it or whatever. That would be kind of weird. Robert says they have the creamy coconut milk also because they cook with it. That's a good point, Robert. Very good point. Cody says, I guess I could just find a single mom with a newborn instead. You guys are cracking me up. We are an hour and 20 minutes in. We only have 21 likes. We should have more than that. Somebody hit that like button. That would be great. Travel TV says milk is a bad choice on a hot day. You got a good point there. I wouldn't drink milk to quench my thirst for sure. Gerald says Jeremy's bringing sexy back. Jeremy is not bringing sexy back because Jeremy is not sexy. However, I just wanted to stretch my legs out for a little while because I'm debating on whether to make this a marathon stream or whether to cut it off and just kind of enjoy my day. And the truth is, I will probably just cut it off and enjoy my day at some point in the relatively near future. July the 4th weekend, and everybody's probably out looking at fireworks and all that stuff. Mr. K says soy products reduce testosterone. That's what I was referring to, Mr. K. Soy products reduce testosterone and interferes with the energy production. Apparently affects thyroid gland. The 100% I was agreeing with you on the testosterone part. The good news is I don't have a thyroid, so I don't have to worry about that. Cody says milk and Oreos too. That's great. And I mean, in America, they would make the milk bottle or the gallon of milk, and it would have red top, and then the dark blue top would be 2%, and then a little bit lighter would be 1%, and then the white one would be skim milk, which meant no fat, right? And that's kind of the same version of looking. It's not the same because it's not made from soy or soybean, but I always drunk vitamin D. When I say vitamin D, I got all the vitamin D because I drank the red top milk that had all the fat, all the natural stuff. And we didn't have a lot of grass-fed cows back then, but or you couldn't buy. Let me correct myself. You couldn't buy a lot of grass-fed cow milk. Or if it was, they didn't tell you. That's the difference. I'm not aware of any fireworks over here on the 4th, Cody. If they did have, I would definitely photograph them for sure. Dan says, bruh, I've been convincing my buddies to go to Thailand next year. Told them of all the great times I had there. Hope to make it out there next year. Feels like a second home to me. Yeah, if I ever left Thailand and decided to come back, I would think it would probably feel like a second home. It would. Buttermilk, yeah, I never really liked buttermilk. The only time I like buttermilk is when my grandmother cooked with it. To Dan's point, like if I flew back into Cebu for vacation or something, I was going out to Palawan or El Nido, Coron, something like that. While I was in Cebu, it would kind of feel like my second home to me because that's kind of where I spent most of my time the first 9 months of my traveling. Roger says buttermilk and cornbread. I'm telling you, man, that was good. That was good. And I miss stuff like that from America, but it's okay. I've learned a lot living in Thailand, and what I want you guys to do is post your questions in the comment section below if you don't think of anything before this live stream ends. And really give me some ideas on what we could talk about, because there's some days coming up here that if the weather doesn't change, we're just going to have live streams. And I'll save the videos for next week. Travel TV says, gotta go, guys. Take care. Happy 4th. Same to you, buddy. And hope to see you soon, man. Because I need myself to get. I'm almost to the point where I'm like, you know what? It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to go back to America and get a job, make some money, save a bunch of it, and then come back. However, the problem with doing that is the cost of living in America is so much higher than it is here. How much money would I be able to save? I guess it depends on what kind of job I got, but Cody says, are the beaches open? Most beaches are open, yeah. Mr. K says, I was supposed to be in Thailand for the whole month. Thai Airways suspended my refund. Oh, that's terrible. Maybe next year I can go. Sorry to hear that, man. Yeah. But the beach, yeah, Ross said all beaches are open. So it was my understanding that the vast majority of beaches were open with few exceptions. And if Ross says they're all open, I would agree. I would go with him. So, with that being said, we'll just go ahead and start winding this one down. If you would like access to more perks, if you want channel updates as they happen, pictures that others don't get, you want your own Domorelife email, and a few other little perks that I have for my channel members. You can always become a channel member by hitting the join button below the video, and it'll take you to you know, not joining when you hit the join button. It'll take you to a place that'll tell you what is offered, and you can decide then whether or not you want to be a channel member. And we do contributions for traveling and for travel equipment via PayPal, also via Super Chat. We like PayPal because it takes less of a percentage, but that's what we do here. And we only have one tier right now, and for the channel member, it's $2.99, $2.99. Very inexpensive, and for what you get, not bad. You also get to vote on content that goes on the channel. So I get a lot of input from what my subscribers, what my core base, what they really want to hear. And I appreciate that very, very, very much. So with that being said, I hope everyone has a wonderful July the 4th. Yeah, I'm with you, Cody. But I hope everybody has a great July 4th. If you ever decide to live in Thailand, you would be surprised at how much living in Thailand will change you. Thanks to all my moderators. I appreciate you guys that are in here, that have a wrench, that keep control of the channel. You guys do a great job. I appreciate everybody who made a comment in the comment section today. Appreciate it very much. The King Leeway says, hi, Jeremy. Been busy live streaming, just finished, but I will message you about possibly doing a topic together if you're open to it. Yep, I'm always open to it, man. We're just shutting down here. So thank you so very much to everyone. Yeah, there you go, Roger. Thumbs up, num nuts. As you guys are leaving, be sure to hit the thumbs up button for me. I would really appreciate it. And that would be fantastic. Love to have a few more of those. With that being said, remember, guys, this channel is dedicated to travel, fun, photography, and education. That's what we're all about. We got a nice little family, Domorelife family here. And share these Domorelife videos, any video that you think your social media following would be interested in. Find a video that you really like and that you think your social media following would be interested in, and share it on that social media. That is the quickest and cheapest and best way you can help this channel, and I will be grateful forever. All of you guys are saying take care, bye everybody. I really appreciate you coming on. May do a live stream tomorrow, not sure, might just drop a video If I do, it'll be something cool, I promise. But with that being said, whatever you guys do today, be sure you do more life. Love you guys and see you on the next one.